My name's Jeremy Neal, 2859 White Level Road. I say White Level, North Carolina, because I don't want to say Cascade. I read Chairman Dunstan's comments as well. I did not accept it as a challenge. I thought it was a very reasonable request to bring a solution. Because when people come to me in the business I'm in and they complain, when you complain, have a solution. And I by no means have put the effort that Bruce has put forth. And that's very interesting information that Bruce has presented. And to come up to this podium, me or anybody else in this room, and just say, y'all need to vote no, is not a reasonable request. A solution has to be met. Several things that have come through my mind in the last week of looking at that ever since reading Dunstan's remarks that day in the paper. One thing is we have $1.4 million in delinquent taxes owed in Franklin County. That would equate to about 3.25 on your tax rate right there. In your own slide tonight, never saw it till tonight, you showed $200,000 less in projected revenue from the jail fees this year. But you're going to add 4 employees to make $200,000 less. That math didn't work. And I'm not trying to be negative in any way. My concern is not for me. I turned 40 years old this week. I got 20, 25 plus more years working. If my taxes go up this year on my house another $300 to $400, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna hustle one more car. I'm gonna handle one more claim. But we got disabled veterans. We got disabled citizens. We've got single moms. We have disabled senior citizens. We have senior citizens that have lived here all their life that they are losing what they work for because they can't pay the taxes on it. And we spend a good bit of money trying to convince somebody to come here to live, and then we don't spend the money on the ones that's here. It was embarrassing to me to know that folks that where I live in White Level are going to talk about the tax rate going up, and then when they see that the volunteer rescue got cut 10,000, that's something we use in our area. Because a lot of people say, well, you have to cut services. Where I live, which is the northern area of Franklin County, also known as District 3, somebody's going to have to show us what services are for us to get something cut, because we don't have anything. We've got a better chance of getting water from other counties than we do our own. We have no amenities out that way. We have no parks. We have no ball fields. Largest land mass in all of Franklin County, and we do not have a single place that a child can play baseball. And go to the county employees. We did not give them any cost of living raise, but then we're going to ask them to pay 3% more on their property tax. What does that say to them? I have felt for years that for some reason, once you become a county employee, you don't get looked at as a citizen anymore. They've got to live just like we have to live. I know I'm not going to get a 4% raise this year. I don't think, I mean, they're not going to get one, but at the same time, they've got to be able to come up with the money to pay to continue to live here. This is my home. I was born here. I was raised here. I'm not moving away from here. White Level is what White Level is, and nobody probably loves it any better than I do. But there's things that we can do as a whole for our county to help. Our residents cannot continue to spend the tax money year after year after year. And everybody acted like this was a surprise when it was in the paper. But Chuck Murray and Angela Harris have been sitting up here for years saying, if you keep going in the fund, keep going in the fund, keep going in the fund, we're going to have to do something. Well, now it's time we got to do something. But what we got to do is stop spending. In just a consent agenda tonight, there was 2 large amendments for money outside of what the budget was. We didn't, I mean, they don't even get discussed. That just got a consent agenda. Y'all didn't even pay, folks that don't come every month didn't even notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items got approved just like that right there. Add up them dollar amounts right there. Just off the top of your head, it's over $4 million in that one little vote right there. And most of you don't know what it was for. And I'm not criticizing anybody here that doesn't participate in politics. I've done it because it's a hobby and it's something I enjoy. But this is what we got to do is we got to have 130 people show up here every other Monday night and know why when we pay 8.7 to the tax rate, what that's going for. We've got to manage it. Don't just find fault in these 7 right here. I've had my differences with all of them, but I mean, don't find fault in just them, because they're trying to come up with a solution, and just to say no, don't vote no. Vote no is not going to do nothing. Anybody that continuously says no and never has anything productive to add to the argument, they're part of the problem. But we've got to learn to live within our means.
Amen.
Every well's got a bottom. My grandma said, when you see dust, you got to stop digging.
Yeah.
Put water back in it and hope one day you can prime that pump. And that's what we've got to do. I do believe it has its faults, but I don't believe there's nowhere in this world no better than Franklin County is to live. And I hate for these folks right here to have to hear some of the slack that they're going to hear over the next week, 2 weeks. I know it's going to be hard, but John explained in White Level why the rescue went down, the tax rate went up. I'm just going to blame him. I got the easy end of this one. But we can't keep spending and hoping for growth, because nobody in their right business mind is going to look and say, let's go to this county here when there's 9 around us that are a whole lot cheaper to do business. And it is what it is. And I appreciate y'all's job that you do, and I know you got a long way ahead of you. And I could see us having to go up something. But before we ever spend another dime, we've got to check every dime we already spent.
Amen.
Thank you.
That's right.